Hey, it's Web Junior 1977. Welcome back. I know all of you are like, wow, my life is complete now. He's back. Have that effect on people. Just do. Sorry. But anyway, on a more serious note, today I have Gameboy Micro. It's the third, I wouldn't say third series of Game Boy, because it came out with the Game Boy Pocket and came out with the Game Boy Advance, came out with the Game Boy. It's definitely the third series as far as Game Boy Advance is concerned. They came out with the Game Boy Advance, and it came out with the Game Boy Advance SP. Then they came out with the Game Boy Micro. Some people call it Game Boy Advanced Micro, some people just call it Game Boy Micro, which on the back it just says Game Boy Micro. So, for the sake of argument, I'm going to call it a Game Boy Micro. Well, anyway, let me first go over the buttons. Of course, you got your directional pad, your B and A button. On the top you have an L and R, and you got your charge port, which I think also doubles as a port to link two of the systems together like all the other Game Boys. On this side you got your wrist strap. If you're klutzy like me, you might want to use that. And you have your volume button, which also works if you hold your L button down and you mess with this, like the volume, you mess with the volume, it changes the brightness of your screen. Also, on the back you have your port where you have the rechargeable battery that you just charge. Doesn't take batteries. Other than that, of course, doesn't take AA or AAA. You got your power plug, your power switch right there. Got your headphone jack. And last but not least, of course, you have start select buttons. Okay, and then of course you have your cartridge slot. By the way, this system only plays Game Boy Advance games. It will not play, say, Game Boy Color game. Will not go in either way. If anybody knows a way that you can actually put that in there and make it work, I'd love to know. But I'm not sure it even plays them, if you were able. I know there's a couple tabs in there that are kind of preventing this from going in. As you can see, the little notches on either side of the Game Boy Advance game, which I'm pretty sure it's what's preventing it from going in. But whether or not it'll play even if you get it in, I don't know. This is one of the better models. They actually made two models. The first model they made was basically just straight black. This model is the colored model, and there's two little holes right there. I don't know if you can see them, but if you push those two little holes, push something in them two little holes, then you can take the faceplate off and you can replace them if you scratch your faceplate all up, which this one's pretty bad. It was like that when I got it. But it actually looks pretty neat without a faceplate. But you don't want to run it without a faceplate, because those LCD screens are really sensitive. But anyway, let me put it back on here right. But pretty much it's pretty much having trouble here. There we go. That's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, it only plays Game Boy Advance games. It won't play your Game Boy Color or your original Game Boy games. So if you already have Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance SP, unless you want to buy this one for your collection, if you buy, this one and you get rid of the other one, you're not going to be able to play any Game Boy Color games or original Game Boy games that you might have. So keep that in mind. But for me, I bought it to play, but I also bought it for the collection purposes. But yes, I definitely recommend it. It's a really nice little portable system for Game Boy Advance games. Until next time, later.